Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with another challenge accepted. This week, Shannon Allower and I are taking on this sketch, which is the last week's Thursday sketch at Redefined Creative and the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And it is it's a great simple sketch. It's 8.5 by 11 here. I'm going to do it on 12 by 12. What I see here is this nice strip of paper. I'm going to cut mine at 4 by 8, and it'll take up some space because my format is wider. My photos are 2.5 by 2.5 instead of 2 by 2. I'll do some ephemera from I'm using my new Bloom Street collection that I just got today and did an unboxing of, and I'm doing, I'll find some ephemera in here for the tag and for these elements, and I've got from my own stash, I've got a couple paper clips. We'll see which ones work better. I've got a little ribbon here, some foam. Let's see what else I have going on. I'm going to mat the photos. And by the way, as you know, my printer's been broken. And these photos were printed before it was broken. And it shows, these are my granddaughter Ava on a trip last summer of 2019. And the skin tones are really messed up because the inks were all blotching together in fine detailed areas like that. So I'm going to print new ones, but even though my printer's fixed, no one could bring it to my desk. So I'm going to go with these on the video. Then I'm going to replace them. I'm going to kind of adhere them temporarily maybe, and then I'll print the others and cut them to go on top. So I'm going to use this blue plaid to mat because it almost works like a diagonal stripe, which I love for matting photos. And it has the blues in it that are kind of in the photo, and it has that pink there. So I kind of think I'll like that. My main pattern that's going to go down underneath the photos will be these beautiful ombre watercolor hearts. And I'm going to use this kind of watercolor ombre from lavender to pink to blue for the background. So I pulled those from the 12 by 12 paper pad. I pulled the plaid from the 6 by 8 paper pad. And I've got a collection of things here. First thing I'm going to do is, there's a tiny bit of mixed media on the background, and I'm going to kind of I'm going to try my darndest to pick up on the purples that are in that sunset in the photograph. And there are purples throughout the collection in the florals. I may find a use for this one. There's kind of a small horizontal element here. I'm not going to use a subtitle, but I may use a small strip of that paper. But first thing I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of Jane Davenport acrylic paint in a pretty purple color. It hasn't been opened. That's too bad because I have some purple paint that has been opened. This will now start the drying out process. I could have sworn to you that I'd used this before, and it's apparently very full, so it's kind of bleeding out. I'm gonna have to kind of clean that up later. Let me get a baby wipe. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is spray that down with some water, and I may add more later. Right now, I just need to get the paint off my hand. That's going to be handling the paper. Okay, so there. Got this, and I'm going to kind of swirl this around. I don't want it to be too wet, but it does need to be wet enough to flick. So let's see, what orientation? The blue here, pink here, lavender here. That seems good. Okay. Kind of, this paintbrush has actually, because I've picked it up. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do there. Let me wipe my paintbrush in lieu of soaking it in water somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside and I'm gonna build my photo cluster. First thing I'm gonna do is figure out what colors I want predominantly in this. I see the purple hearts kind of go up right in here. I think all of those colors are actually in this sunset. That's one of the most beautiful sunset pictures I've ever seen. Okay, so let me get the 4-inch strip cut first. And then we'll figure out what to cut off to get the 8 or 9-inch strip. I chose, the photos are 2.5 by 2.5, and I chose a 4-inch strip because I want it to be obvious that those are hearts. I want the hearts to read as hearts. So let me get that off. Okay, I don't need all that pinky pink, so I'm gonna kind of I'll take 3 inches of that off. That still leaves me with pink, but then it graduates down to those purples. Okay, I'm going to back this with some foam. Let me get that. I want to leave enough of a border on the sides to allow me to tuck things under. And if I need to have them even with it, I can always, if I'm going to overlap, I can always use foam on whatever element needs to prop up over it. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is mat these photos. Kind of a very, very thin mat. I don't want that to be a major element of the page, but I do want there to be something of a frame around those. Let's see. My trimmer trims straight enough for me, but it does trim a little bit. Okay, that's gonna work. It trims a little bit to the left of where the line is that you think it's gonna cut, that you're expecting, but I've adjusted to that over the years and I kind of don't mind it. I like it. I'm okay enough with it that I'm happy not spending a fortune on a replacement trimmer. Okay, the design has, let's see what the design has. It has 2 photos at the top and then 1 at the bottom. And there are two of these where she's facing the camera directly, and those are the ones that you can kind of see that the printer messed up on the skin tones on her face. And the third one, she's kind of looking off to the side. So I think that's the one I'll put by itself. Put those over there, and we'll do this. So here's the one that goes at the bottom. Here's one of the ones at the top, and then here she appears to be turning. And what I'm going to do is prop that up, even though here there's some border going around. I'm going to prop this one up, and mainly doing that to give enough space for to leave enough space for the tag. And this is kind of silly because I haven't chosen the tags. I have no idea how big it is, but I do see that the photos kind of overlap it, and that's what I'm planning to do as well. So given that, I almost don't care what size it is because it isn't going to be too large for me. Okay, let's go into here. I think the tags are in this pack. Let me split this up the side and pull these out. I just love this collection so much. I love that there's kind of a lime green and kind of a mint green. Here's the tag I was planning to use, and it could work, and I could tie a tie onto it, and that would be fine, except the lines are going the wrong way. I could do this. This has a grid. What do I want to do there? Let me go with, let's see what we have here. This is kind of cute. Let me do that. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I've got an idea. There are these little guys here, and I can work maybe two of them, the two that aren't the same color. Let me prop this up on foam. And I can have it overlapping there. And then I can do these kind of like that, is that? And I can have them overlapping this strip. That works for me. Okay, let me get this attached. And that color of kind of salmon-y pink is exactly, get that down, exactly the color of the outfit she's wearing. Okay, this is not straight on there, and neither is that one. Okay, let me get that more carefully placed. Okay, now to do this, I will put some adhesive down here and then across this center part because that will touch the photo. Let me get it evenly overlapping there. Okay, that works. I hate that this tag didn't have the lines going that way, and I could have drawn lines and given it a grid, but then the flowers, I think, would look, well, I guess this would be okay. In any case, I didn't do it. So we're moving on. Now, I'm just going to kind of scoot those over to the side. I had some twine that I was going to choose between for the tag, but I'm not using a tag, so I'm not using twine. I've got the photos glued straight on, not on foam, because this is on foam. I think this is ready to go here, and then we'll choose the ephemera for the embellishments. Okay, I'm gonna do this like that. I like the way acrylic paint dries when you splatter it like that. I'm gonna maybe move it over a bit to the right. Okay, now, looking at the ephemera, there is this which says Hello Spring, not appropriate. That's not what that photo was about. There's this yellow that kind of works also as a journaling block. And I could do it more like this. I like that. And then this could be the title, and it's kind of about, Ava had been in a huge battle with leukemia, which at the moment she's on a break from. She's finished with chemo and is beginning a maintenance program. So, but this was a rare break. Okay, I like that. And since I don't have any, like a tag or anything coming out there, let me see. Okay, the other piece I wanted to use in place of that heart there is one of these charms. And I'm not quite sure how okay, they're attached this way. Because I'm kind of going purple here, I may choose that one, the purple one. And if I do that, I could use the yellow or the pink. Let me get the purple one out and we'll see how it works. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is actually, rather than tie it on, I'm going to attach it with a pop dot, and I'll try to adhere it in a location that I need to kind of overcome some foam prop. Okay, if I do pink, I've got pink down here and it's slightly different color pink. This yellow kind of gets it near that near the yellow hearts. So let me go with this, and if I do this, I'm going to have it right there. So I'll need my foam kind of up in here, and it maybe doesn't need to be that big a piece of foam. Do this and see how that works out. Okay, that seems to work. And I can actually overlap this and let it overlap the photo so that it doesn't, because there's nothing too fascinating in the photo that you can't see in this one or this one. So now I'm going to do this again. Cut some of that off, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive there so that when I like the placement, I'll just attach it. Do I want it down? If I do it this way, then there's this corner of the photo that shows, and it seems cleaner to me to bring it down here. Okay, now here is where I could put this, and I can hide the little ring that makes it a charm. Since I'm really not going to be putting anything on that, I could hide it by tucking it under something here, maybe like this. And that, the pop dot pops it up too much. So I'm going to take that back, and I'm going to adhere it with some liquid glue. And I'll put it kind of in the same place using the same idea of tucking that the charm hanger thingy. I'm sure those are real words. Let me see. There. I don't know if I can tuck this under this way. There. Okay. It kind of, it underlaps and overlaps, if that makes any sense. Okay. So I've got that. Basically, I could say that that's done. I've got, I will say that in the, on this original design, well, okay, let's go back. I did have anyway, so a couple of paper clips to go right here. And there's not as much aqua around as there is pink, but that's kind of the wrong pink. I think I'll introduce the aqua, and I'll tuck the large end of the clip underneath, so because I don't want the, if I let the large end show on the outside, it would kind of overwhelm that top side. You know. Okay, now what I think I might try to do is just add some Nuvo drops out in this field here. There, it looks like there are some enamel dots, some trios of enamel dots around amidst the in kind of in the middle and around the mixed media, the splatters. So I'm going to do a few of those. Do a little trio up here. And I think that's all I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna call it quits. I will write some journaling here, and well, actually, let me see. There are, hold on just a second, I'm gonna run to my sticker sheet. Okay, I have a couple sticker sheets that have sentiments on them, and I really like one that I see here. Because this was a special trip that kind of took her away from the horror of that is chemo and cancer treatments. The idea of saying make time seems appropriate there. So let me get, it's in the green and yellow colors, and I think that might look nice on this one or this one. Let me see what other one I might want and see what color. Well, there's the best day ever in the orange and pink. So again, it doesn't really matter which one of those it goes on. These cardstock, brand new cardstock stickers are a little hard to peel up sometimes. Okay, let me go. I'll put make time. I'm actually going to prop it up on some foam, and you thought I was finished with this page, didn't you? And I'm going to overlap it so that the two sentiments don't end up competing with one another. This one will kind of go off that way and down a bit on the arrow piece. Okay, this one will go on the other side, and I may prop it up like this. Yeah, like that. I like that idea. And then maybe I can find some little small embellishment to kind of fill in some space here. And one thing that I'm seeing is this little kind of spray, a floral spray. I'm going to cut it off of here and kind of tuck it in like that, maybe with a little pop dot underneath it so it has some dimension. There we go. It tucks under, but then kind of slants upward. Let's see. I have a couple little hearts over on my there's a green that's very similar to the green hearts that are there. And I've got a pink that's very similar to the darker pink that's used in the collection. And I can overlap those. Well, I'll have to go back with some liquid glue. These have kind of been, these were intended for another project, and rather than put them back on the sheet, I ended up sticking them on my lamp as a reminder that I needed to use them. Here are some tiny embellishments. There's a cute butterfly. There's that little string of hearts there. There are some holographic hearts down here and some flowers. I think I'm okay with what we have on here, so I'm going to call it quits. So this is the original sketch, and this is my interpretation. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.